This is KGW News at noon.
Going forward, we will have more boots on the ground, closely scrutinizing and monitoring production and manufacturing activities.
That is the head of the FAA, Michael Whitaker, speaking this morning after Congress held a hearing to address what it calls systemic safety issues within the U.S. aviation industry. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Drew Carney. So on the heels of that hearing, the NTSB released their preliminary investigation into the door plug that blew off an Alaska Airlines plane last month, shortly after it took off from Portland. That report came down just within the last hour. In it, NTSB investigators detailed their inspection and investigation process, which includes everything from inspecting that door plug and the plane to analyzing in-flight voice recordings from pilots. There's definitely a lot of information to unpack here, so KGW investigative reporter Kyle Aboshi is digging through this report to give us a better understanding of the specifics. He's going to have more for us coming up later this afternoon during the news at 4. We also received new information from police just a few hours ago about a Portland woman who went missing late last month. Police arrested the woman's fiance and charged him with her murder. 47-year-old Jeannie Enyart was last seen by her neighbors on January 27th. Yesterday, police took her fiance, 33-year-old John French, into custody. French was booked into the Multnomah County Jail on charges of murder in the second degree and abuse of a corpse in the second degree. Last Monday, police found Enyart's car after it crashed in Skamania County, but the car was empty. 3 days later, on Thursday of last week, police say a woman's body was found in a car, also in Skamania County. The medical examiner determined the woman died of homicidal violence. And while they haven't yet identified the body, detectives strongly believe it's Enyart. Police are also asking anyone with information that can help them with this case to call the number that we're putting up here on the screen for you. I believe we'll show you that number here momentarily. Sorry, we don't have that number for you. We'll try to get it before the newscast is through. We know this much for sure. KGW's Thomas Schultz is covering the story for us today. He'll have an update this afternoon during the news at 4. In just the last hour, a jury found the mother of the Oxford, Michigan school shooter guilty on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Jennifer Crumbley's son was the gunman in a shooting that killed 4 people. The jury in her case deliberated for about 11 hours. During her trial, prosecutors brought up evidence that both of the shooter's parents failed to respond to warning signs before the shooting happened. Prosecutors also cited the fact that his parents bought the actual gun their son used, giving it to him as a gift. The shooter's father, James Crumbley, also faces 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. He'll have a separate trial coming up in March. Jennifer Crumbley's sentencing is scheduled for April 9th. In Washington, D.C., an appeal court ruled today that former President Donald Trump is not immune from criminal prosecution. All this, of course, related to his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election, and that includes his actions the day of the January 6th insurrection. The 3-judge panel said there was no basis for Trump's assertion that former presidents have sweeping immunity for actions they took while in office. Former President Trump's attorneys argued that he was immune from prosecution due to the fact that he was a sitting president at the time. A spokesperson for Trump's campaign said if absolute immunity is not granted to a president, it leaves the door open to the opposing political party indicting them immediately after they leave office. They also said this ruling will be appealed, which the court gave the former president and his team until the 12th to do. Trump is facing a 4-count indictment in D.C., including charges of conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. At this point, he has pleaded not guilty. All right, let's take a break from the news headlines this afternoon as we take a look outside. A live look from our Skycam in Astoria. Rod Hill, meanwhile, is closer to where I stand. He's in the KGW Weather Center talking about the big picture.
You've done better than I have. I was searching our cameras for the most sun. You found it from the Astoria column camera out there looking over the Columbia River up in Clatsop County. Radar, what we've seen the last handful of hours has been showers mostly over the mountains, the Coast Range, and the Cascades. It's been basically just flurries up over the Cascades where the snow level is holding at about 3,500 feet. Some raindrops on the Lens down Lincoln County. This is Schnuckwin's Casino Resort Cam in Lincoln City. 52 is the current temperature there. We've had some sun breaks here in the valley, but not many. This is Lewis River Golf Course up in Woodland, pretty much overcast. And same thing in downtown. I mean, there's one little break in the clouds, but we're just not seeing much. We are at 50 degrees at noon, so it's comfortable outside. There's really no wind. The winds are light from the west. I have us 50-52 this afternoon. A continued scattered shower chance, but in the flats of the valley, if you will, it really looks like we're going to have mainly dry weather. The forecast does pick up rain chances tomorrow. We'll get into that 7-day, take you into the weekend coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, Rod. We look forward to that for sure coming up here. Right now, though, we want to get back into our news headlines this afternoon. And we have this story to pass along. Vancouver police are asking for help to find this missing 14-year-old. Kaylee Furno was reported missing on Sunday. She was last seen near the intersection of Northeast 104th and Mill Plain Boulevard wearing a dark blue Mickey Mouse sweatshirt and black boots. She also has a health condition and needs medication, which we're told she does not have with her. If you see Kaylee, you should contact Vancouver police. 3 minors, meanwhile, are in custody after police say they assaulted and robbed a woman after she opened her garage door just after 8 o'clock last night. This happened on Southwest Eastman Parkway near Powell Boulevard in Gresham. Dogs with Gresham Police and the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, as well as a drone, helped officers find 2 of the minors hiding in a nearby backyard. The third was also found in that area. The woman who was attacked, meanwhile, went to the hospital, but we're told she's going to be okay. A 1-block stretch of Lombard Street in North Portland is back open this afternoon after a deadly shooting happened there late last night. Just before 10 o'clock, police responded to reports of gunshots that is, at a bar along North Lombard between Baltimore and Alta Avenues. When they got there, police say they found 1 man dead. So far, though, they have not released his name and they have not made any arrests. Police have identified the man shot and killed Friday night at a bar in Southeast Portland's Centennial neighborhood. Police say 37-year-old children's book author Montrell Goss died at the hospital after he was seen arguing with a man at the Lariat Lounge. Investigators say Goss left to get a gun from his car, came back, and that's when shots were fired. Police say they found 2 guns at the scene. Meanwhile, we spoke to some of Goss's family and friends.
I loved his books. I loved the things that he stood for, just the community. I mean, so many kids, so many families were affected by him in North Portland particularly, but just all over the city, right? And so, yeah, it's just one of those where a community icon he will never be forgotten.
Portland police say they're still investigating what led up to the shooting, and so far, they haven't charged or arrested anyone. Portland's street response program faces the possibility of millions of dollars in budget cuts. KGW's Blair Best explains what this would mean for the teams that currently respond to mental health calls in the city instead of police.
A life on the streets is full of uncertainty, yet there's one Portland program many have come to rely on.
In street response, that's just like one thing you could always count on out here.
Portland Street Response, a mobile mental health crisis team responding to calls typically handled by police.
There's always someone going around trying to make sure everyone's doing okay.
I would personally say for us homeless, out here there is better resources than the Portland Street Response.
The future of the program is as unstable as the people it helps. Mayor Ted Wheeler has ordered all public safety bureaus to find ways to better balance their budgets. Portland Street Response is part of the Fire Bureau, which is managed by Commissioner Renee Gonzalez. Gonzalez proposed a number of cuts to the Bureau, including cutting about $3 million from Portland Street Response.
But unfortunately, they were built with a lot of one-time dollars, and in response to the mayor's direction for budget prep, we had to play through scenarios where there isn't new ongoing money to replace that one-time money. Hopefully, we can find long-term revenues for Portland Street Response and for Portland Fire's core operations that won't necessitate these cuts.
He's been asking the county to help fund the program.
We don't want to see these cuts. We don't want to see cuts in public safety in general.
Commissioner Carmen Rubio agrees.
It would be terrible for the community to cut such an important resource, and especially right now where we are experience a crisis of all our responder systems and also our services.
It's unnecessary. I mean, this is political gamesmanship. and we have real people suffering on the streets.
Kaya Sand is part of Friends of Portland Street Response, a community group calling for the program to be fully funded and 24/7. 12,000 people have signed their petition.
The support is legion. I mean, there are people all over this city who really see this is an effective response. We just need our city leaders to commit to seeing it through.
This is a program that could really use like an infusion rather than having their budget stripped from them.
Blair Best, KGW News.